Mark.
Dad and I worked on this project together. We had a look in our garage to see what we had. We found a clock, an old bicycle, and some old pipes and other things. In fact, my brother Jake was fixing the bike a couple of years ago, but then he stopped because he moved away. But we took some bits from his bike. Anyhow, you can see that this is a kind of musical instrument, a bit like a guitar, except it's mostly made of metal instead of wood, and there's some leather there as well. I really like the clock. That was Dad's idea. When we create something new from something old, it's really satisfying. It's called upcycling, and it's really cool. I guess because we all know it's important to recycle. I couldn't have done it without Dad, though, that's for sure.
Leah.
My trainers. Yes. Well, it started with a Year 7 project. We had to bring in a pair of old trainers. I had an old pair at home, but one of the trainers had a hole in it, so I had to mend it first. Then we had to customize them. Make them our own. First, we designed them on the computer and thought about how we wanted them to look. That was fun, especially because everyone had completely different ideas. I drew a cool pattern with coloured pens, and I decided to sew some bits of material on too. It was such a fun project, I'm going to do design next year.
Will.
My mum had a go-kart that she built with her dad when she was younger, so she asked me if I wanted to help her repair it. We decided to rebuild it. We took it apart and then put it back together again. Then we thought it would be a great idea to decorate it, so we're going to paint it with gold and silver spray paint and stick some stickers on it. Some people invent amazing accessories, but I just want it to go fast, and it does.
From hobby to job. Twins Chet and Bets DeHart have achieved what many young people only dream of. They've made it in the fashion world. When they were just 15, they created the streetwear brand Lucid FC, which now sells worldwide. As kids, the boys loved trainers. They spent the money they earned in their part-time jobs on really good ones. Slowly, they built up a collection. Bets, the twin with the business brain, knew all about the trainers he wore, how many were sold, and where they were being produced. Meanwhile, Chet was the creative twin. He set up a YouTube channel, Soul Brothers, where he reviewed trainers in the twins' collection. While they were still at school, the twins decided to make their own trainers. They sold their collection to raise money for their brand, communicated with manufacturers overseas, and finally released a shoe. Unfortunately, it didn't sell well. The boys refused to give up, however, and continued to talk to possible producers. The result of these conversations led to the production of a shoe decorated with a logo, which looked good and became popular. After a couple of years, the boys decided to rename their brand Lucid FC and launch their first collection, which included items of clothing. While they were studying the fashion business at college, they looked for manufacturers who could make their products. This wasn't easy, but they eventually found two. The next challenge was to find stores to sell their products. The twins were shopping at the fashionable V-Files clothing shop when they were offered jobs, and their manager later decided to stock the brand. Celebrities were soon wearing it too. One of their first customers, Rihanna, was wearing a Lucid FC jacket and cap at a basketball match in 2015 when someone took a photo of her. Thanks to its publication, people noticed the brand. Today, the business continues to grow, and the brothers have great plans for the future.
OK, we promised to give you the results of our questionnaire today. So, Fran, have you got them there?
Yes, I have.
Good. So, first, we asked teenagers which activities they had done in the last 24 hours. What did they say?
Most teenagers said they had visited a social media site in that 24-hour period. So that's the most popular form of communication. However, only 28% said they had commented on a blog, for example.
Interesting. And what about the things they do at least once every day?
Well, we wondered whether teenagers often used email to send a thank you message, for example, and it seems that only 30% do. Messaging and texting is definitely the most popular, with 68% doing that at least once a day.
Right. Then we asked them about social media, didn't we?
Yes. Well, it seems that over 80% of teenagers agree that social networking helps them to keep in touch with friends they don't see that often. That's very high, isn't it? And of course, some sites are for photos and others encourage words. It was about equal as to whether teens use just a photo or a photo and some words to let their friends know how they feel.
So, what's their favourite way of communicating overall, and why?
Well, teenagers still like communicating face-to-face with parents and with pals. They say it's easier to laugh and joke about things face-to-face, and of course, that's what teenagers love doing. They also like messaging and texting because it's so fast, especially with friends. For example, they can easily send a text to remind a friend that they're meeting up. They also find it easier to apologise for something in a text than they do face-to-face, which is interesting.
And what about phoning?
No, they don't use the phone much. They all complain that it's too expensive.
Finally, when they have an argument or disagree, what do?
They do everything except pick up the phone.
Right. Well, thank you, Fran. Interesting. Now, please do send us your reactions to this conversation with Fran. Send an email or a message.
Speaker 1.
Well, it all started when my parents gave me a piano. We'd been to a concert and I'd seen someone playing the piano. That's when I knew I wanted to be a pianist. I always dreamt of playing in an orchestra and playing to lots of people. My mother was definitely very important in helping me. She always encouraged me to keep on practicing, even when it was really hard. But, at the end of the day, I think you should just try your best. No one can ask more.
Speaker 2.
I'm a sports fan, and I've always admired lots of football heroes. You can learn so much just by watching people who are excellent at doing something. My coach often shows me great matches and we watch them together. I once read somewhere that people who achieve a lot often imagine that they are doing something. So, for example, if you have a test coming up and you want to do well, imagine yourself doing that test. Imagine yourself knowing all the answers. Imagine yourself winning. I don't know, but that's what I do before a game. It makes me feel confident.
Speaker 3.
Well, I'm studying hard. It's crazy that I have to think about it now, but yes, I have to think about where I want to be in 5 years' time. I aim to study in the United States, and to do that, I need really good grades. I'd like to do art, but I'm finding it difficult to decide where I want to go. People tell me to just go for it, study hard and then I'll get some offers. But I'm not sure. If I pick one place, then maybe I won't like it in the future. And I'm going to be a long way from home. It's difficult. I just know I want to be in the US. My dad is American. I guess at the end of the day, whatever you choose to do, you just have to go for it.
A meaningful summer. The summer holidays are most definitely a time for rest and relaxation. But after the first few days of staying in, you might start to get bored. After all, watching videos on YouTube all day isn't the best way to spend your free time. How about choosing to take on a few meaningful activities these holidays? It'll be a challenge, but we think you'll have a lot of fun and learn some incredible life skills. Whatever you choose to do, you're certainly going to make some great memories and maybe even a bit of extra cash. Here are some ideas. Home camp. Plan a week of activities as though it were a summer camp week. First, make a list of things you can do. For example, go for a cycle ride in your local park, visit a museum in the city, go swimming at the local leisure centre. Perhaps you could volunteer as well by helping out at a local charity, hospital or care home. Encourage your friends to join in the activities and then find a week when you're all free and plan what you're going to do each day. Aim to include at least 2 activities per day and you'll see that you have a very busy week and certainly no time to be bored. Your own holiday business. Do you want to earn some extra pocket money this summer? The summer holidays are the perfect time to start your own holiday business and gain some skills. What type of thing you can do depends on your abilities and interests. Are you good with your hands? Do you enjoy making things? You could start making your own jewellery or clothes and then sell them online. Are you good with computers and technology? Maybe you could help your friends and neighbours with their IT problems. Are you an animal lover? You could look after your neighbours' pets while they're on holiday or offer a dog walking service. Grow your own food. You don't need to live in the countryside to grow your own food. You can do this on your balcony if you live in an apartment block. You can grow fruit, vegetables and herbs. It might be an idea to begin this project earlier, though, in the spring, as the plants need a few months to grow. Go to a local garden centre to get some ideas. And what better way to enjoy the food you grow than by using it in your own cooking? Why not find recipes online or ask family members to teach you how to cook their favourite dishes? Raise money with a run. There are sports activities taking place all the time, even during the summer. Have a look online and find one near you that's open to young people. Why not take part in a 5-kilometre run or a cycling event? If you do this, people can sponsor you and then you can give your favourite charity the money. This is a great way to do 2 great things, helping people and exercising.
And so here we are, guys. Another year. And what a year. Now, this morning, we want you to phone in and tell us about your achievements. What have you achieved this year? And first on the line is Chris. Chris, hello.
Hi there.
So, Chris, what have you achieved this year? And what did you have to do?
Well, I won a medal. I ran my first half marathon and I came first.
Well, wow. So, was that like a lot of work?
Yes, it was really hard work, but it worked. It was definitely worth it in the end. I had to train so much it was crazy, like I was getting up at 6 a.m. every day and doing gym stuff, and then schoolwork, and then more training. But winning the medal was the best thing.
Thank you, Chris. Next up is Nathan. Hi, Nathan.
Hi, everyone.
And what have you been up to this year?
Well, I've done some music technology courses. It's really cool, like mixing and stuff. The best thing was the great teachers. And I've just been offered a really cool recording project. And I'm going to do it.
How cool is that? Well done. Now we have Sophia on the line. Hi, Sophia.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I've just passed the first part of my driving test. I did a lot of practice tests on the computer, and yesterday I sat the real thing. I was so nervous, but I passed.
Well done, Sophia. So now you can start your driving lessons.
Exactly. I can't wait.
OK, and we have another caller. Hello, Lucy. What have you achieved this year?
In school, we decided to have a class blog. But like everything, in the beginning, everyone is enthusiastic, and then they aren't. So my job was to make sure that every week there was at least one post for the whole year. And I did it.
Good for you, Lucy. Was it hard?
Yes, it was at times. You know, you have to keep asking people to do things. But now I can see that I learned a lot of people skills.
OK, thank you. Now, we have time for one more, and we have a caller on the line. Yes, hello, Tom.
Hi, everyone. Can I just say how much I love this show?
Sure, and thank you. Now, what have you done this year? What has your big achievement been?
Well, lots of things, really. But at the beginning of the year, I started a video project. I like watching videos online, and then, I should say, I'm really into cycling. Anyhow, I decided to put together some how-to videos, like how to fix your bicycle and so on. It's been great. I've learnt a lot about making videos, talking on camera. Great for future presentation skills.
Well, that's awesome, Tom. What great achievements there. Now, let's have some music.
I'm going to describe a situation to you. A boy is going to do a summer activity course during his holidays. Here are the different things that he could do. Talk to each other about the benefits of these different activities and then decide which would be best.
Well, can I start? I think that sleeping is a waste of time. I mean, why would you want to sleep in your holidays? That's silly, and you don't achieve anything. Do you agree with me, Jessica?
No, I don't agree with you, John, because I actually like sleeping. I need to rest, and when I'm working very hard during the year, I imagine myself sleeping. You know, because I work very hard. But no, if someone showed me a picture of sleeping and said, "Here, this is your summer holiday," no, I would think that's boring. And you, Anna, do you like sleeping?
Not at all. In summer, I want to do things. I think that the boy should aim to do something different, you know, learn something new. That is always nice to do and gives you good memories. You know, kind of like, that was the summer I learnt how to draw an animal, or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but what about this one? He is doing something on his computer. I think that's the same as drawing, you know. You are doing it on your own and painting too. I think it would be better to do something together, you know, a team activity.
That's true, John. And it's more fun. And you know, if you are learning something as a team, you have to keep on trying. If not, you'll disappoint everyone. You know what I mean? A good one would be doing rock climbing. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I do, Jessica, but I don't think rock climbing is actually a team sport.
Yes, it is. If your friend isn't watching you, you might fall. But I guess it's actually only 2 people. Okay, I agree with you.
Thank you, Anna. So a team sport could be handball, but I think everyone knows how to play that.
I have an idea. What about if the boy was going to show other children how to play it? That might be nice, and he would learn because he would be teaching. But hang on. We have to choose the best one. Which are we going to choose?
It's difficult, but I think he should do all of them.
Well, maybe he can do 2, you know, rock climbing because we think that's good, even if we aren't sure if it's a team sport or not, and also handball, but he has to show other kids how to do it. And the others, he can do them later.
That's an excellent idea.
I agree too.
Thank you.
1. Paul.
What makes me feel stressed? Well, lots of things really, but recently I had some problems online. I'm really into social media and I spend a lot of time chatting, commenting, the usual thing. And, well, there were some people who weren't very nice to me. When I posted a photo or a message, they wrote nasty comments. I didn't worry too much at first, but then they continued writing and bullying me, so I finally had to block them. That solved the problem, but it wasn't a fun situation.
2. Emma.
Stress? Well, I'm usually a calm, relaxed person, but there are times when I'm too busy. I'm on the basketball team and the swimming team, so I don't have a lot of free time. That means I have to do homework in the evening, usually after dinner when I'm feeling tired. Sometimes I'm sleepy and I can't keep my eyes open, so I go to bed. Then I have to finish my homework in the morning, before breakfast or when I'm on the bus. I know that's not a good idea, but I can't think of a solution.
3. Marco.
I get stressed sometimes, but not about school. I got good grades in my tests and final exams, and my parents are happy about that. My problem is money, especially when I go out with my friends. They always want to go shopping or see a film at the cinema, but that costs money, of course, and I don't get very much from my parents. I mean, they give me some pocket money for helping with housework, but that's not really enough. Sometimes I tell my friends that I'm busy because I don't have any money to go out. I'd like to get a part-time job, but my parents won't let me.
4. Vicky.
For me, the most stressful thing is sharing a bedroom with my 2 little sisters, Julie and Janet. We don't get along very well because they're always using my things without asking, and I'm not very patient with them. I know that. It's annoying when they take my things. We often have arguments, and that upsets my parents. They always tell me I have to be nicer to my sisters because I'm older, but that's not fair. I'd love to have my own bedroom one day. It would make life so much easier.
So, Kathy, what do you think about setting up our own business?
I'm not sure. Do you think that our homemade fruit juices are that good?
Everyone at school likes them, and you said that your parents loved them. I think we have a great idea, and no one else has done it. A fruit juice in a bag.
I know, Craig, but that was only because we didn't have any paper cups left. But that's how all great ideas start, isn't it? People make a name for themselves with crazy ideas or have ideas just because something strange happened. That could be us. So, what should we call them? Bag of fruit? Fruit in a bag?
Neither sounds very attractive. I think the name is as important as what we're selling. How about posting on social media sites for people's opinions of the names?
I like that idea. Brilliant. Do you want to do that or should I?
I can do that. But first, we need some photos, some cool pictures of people drinking our fruit juices in beautiful places too. Not just at school. We could take photos on the beach.
I'm not sure. I mean, how many people go to the beach to drink a fruit juice? It would be better to have the photos of people in everyday places. So at the shopping mall, at the gym. The message, the idea, is that wherever you are, whoever you are so cool that you can have a fruit bag.
But I think we should be careful about who we choose to show in the photos. There's so much advertising that can give you the idea that unless you're really good looking, the product's not for you. So let's have the kind of people you'd see every day in ordinary places, and no editing the pictures either.
Okay, let's buy some fruit and go for it.
A weekend away.
Hi, Nancy. How are things going?
Fine. How about you?
Great. Have any exciting plans for the weekend? A date, perhaps?
Me? No, nothing special. I'm just staying home. You?
Oh, I'm going to San Francisco.
San Francisco? You're kidding. Are you flying?
No, I'm going by train.
Isn't it far?
Yeah, but my train leaves Friday night at 8:30, so I'm going after work. I'm taking an overnight train, so I arrive there at 7 a.m.
Cool. Are you going just for fun?
My grandmother is turning 70, so she's having a birthday party.
How fun.
Yeah, I'm going there with my brother. You know Kevin, right?
Your brother? Yeah, I met him once. He's nice.
Well, our grandmother's party is Saturday night, so on Saturday afternoon, Kevin and I are going to some museums, and then just walking around the city.
And what about Sunday?
Well, our train back home leaves at 10 a.m. We get here in the evening, so that doesn't give us much time on Sunday.
Why don't you take another overnight train?
Oh no, we can't. I have a doctor's appointment on Monday morning, and my brother has a job interview.
Well, it sounds like a great weekend. Have a good trip.
Thanks. Have a good weekend yourself.
Jackie.
Sophia Marconi, my friend Bia's mum, is probably the most amazing person I know. She's also extremely brave. She's a wildlife photographer, and she travels to some of the most dangerous places on Earth to take photos of the world's most endangered animals. She's just come back from Papua New Guinea. I haven't seen her photos yet, but I bet they're amazing. She's quite famous, and she's already been on TV. Although she spends quite a bit of time away from home, she's also a really cool mum. She's really charming, and all of Bia's friends think she's fab. Bia's really lucky to have such a great mum.
Jacob.
One of my heroes is Mr. Donaldson, our music teacher. First of all, he's a brilliant teacher. He's really laid back, but we all respect him, and no one ever messes about in his class. He's so creative and finds different ways to get us interested in his lessons. He's also a really amazing guitar player. I mean, he is seriously talented. He's in a band. They haven't made any recordings yet, but they've already attracted lots of interest, and I'm sure they're going to be famous one day. I'll be really happy for him, but I hope it doesn't happen too soon. I don't want to lose my teacher.
Alex.
The person I admire more than anyone is my grandmother, Gwen. She's 78 and looks just amazing. Many people think she's my mother when they see us together, but she doesn't just look young, she is young. She's one of the most active people I know. She spends a lot of her time doing things for charity. For example, she's just done a parachute jump to raise money for a children's charity in India. A parachute jump at her age. She's such a positive person, always seeing the good in other people. Life is for living, she tells me. I hope I have that much life in me when I'm her age.
Oliver.
The greatest person I know is my Uncle Jack. He and my Aunt Alice had the perfect life, good jobs, a lovely house and 3 young children. Then, one day, their life changed forever. My aunt had a terrible car accident. It left her in a wheelchair. From that day on, my uncle has devoted his time to looking after her and the family. But I have never heard him complain. He's still the same lovely person he always was. I know life is hard for him, but he's always so cheerful, with a huge smile on his face. He's such a warm person, someone you want to spend time with.